All right. I think we're ready to go for podcast number 25, which, if you think about it, is a nice number for some reason. It just makes you feel good. Well, at least makes me feel good. I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks this. Probably not. But when I see certain numbers, I feel some emotional attachment to them. So my favorite number is the number 8, the infinity symbol. I love it. Any number that leads with an 8, I feel good about. Not like OCD or a beautiful mind kind of feel good. It's not like I obsess over it. I just like it. That's my number. I feel good picking an 8. So like whenever I have to bet on something, I always try to bet with the 8th, whatever. But certain numbers, they just look good. 21, 18, 10, 25, 21, 69, 420. You know, there's a certain number of combos that feel good. So I don't know if I'm the only one. I don't think I'm, what was Matt Damon's character in Good Will Hunting? Oh, is it Will Hunt? Is it Will Hunting? It's Will something. Oh, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not solving math riddles and a chalkboard in a college, you know? That's what I'm trying to say here. So, yeah, 25, it's a good number. It's what I'm trying to, that's my point here. I made the world's worst latte just now. I've been making decent lattes. But for whatever reason, I fucked up this one good. It doesn't taste like there's coffee in it, and the milk doesn't taste like it's supposed to, and I don't taste any of the vanilla I put in it. It kind of just tastes like nothing. Let me give it a good stir and give it the old college try again here. Yep, still shit. So, what are you going to do? Hopefully, on this podcast, we will conclude this whole romantic drama that is the Angelo Grosso's life. Before I dive into that, oh, hey, LaFonda, you're going to bug me on this one? Damn. All right, just chill. Just chill. Just chill. Stay cool, bitch. Stay cool. Yeah, not a good time. Just sit there. Goddamn terrorist. Okay. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Before I dive into the romances, I want to cover a bunch of TV shows that I've been watching lately. Some of these, obviously already big hits, but some of them I think may have slipped through the cracks. And if you're looking for a new show and you like The Boy, listen to The Boy's opinions, you know? I don't like I call myself The Boy. I'm going to stop that. First one is The Mandalorian. Everyone and their fucking mother watches this show. It's no big deal, but this season is amazing. I love the Timothy Olyphant episode. And I just watched the Ahsoka Tano. Ashoka? I never know how to pronounce her name. I love that character, though. I saw all the Clone Wars. I saw all of Rebels. And was there a third thing she was in? Oh, the Clone War movies. And so I just been a big fan of that character. So I was so excited for this episode. And they did not disappoint. Rosario Dawson is money as Ahsoka Tano. Yeah, awesome. Awesome. I don't think anyone's not watching this, and I don't think anyone's even on the fence about it. You either like Star Wars and you'll watch anything they shit out, even because you're a fucktard. But every now and then something good slips through. I have always said, and I will stand by this, that in my lifetime, I'm 34 years old, there has not been a better Star Wars movie, period, than Rogue One. Best movie. Best than the prequels, best than the sequels that were just, both the prequels and the sequels all can suck my D because they were awful. And all of the one-off movies were pretty much shit. But Rogue One, amazing. But their TV shows have been hitting it out of the park forever. The Clone Wars series, yeah, some episodes were kind of bleh, but there was a lot of ones that were just really good. I mean, I recommend that series. Same thing with Star Wars Rebels. They go into more of the cosmic and like the history of that galaxy. And I'm sounding like a real fucking nerd, I know, but it's either this or sports, people. I get complaints either way. Either I talk too much sports or I talk too much nerdy shit. Deal with it. Oh, you fucking savages here. Anyway, I recommend The Mandalorian. It's the best live action show that I've seen Star Wars do. I don't know how long the list is. It's probably not that long. And Rogue One is still the best movie. If you don't believe that, I don't often say this, but your opinion is wrong. But this show, I think, did slip through the cracks. It's called Primal. I believe it's on Cartoon Network or Adult Swim, one of those two. I think it's Adult Swim because it's pretty violent. And I've been watching it on HBO Max. Primal. It's a cartoon by Genndy Tartakovsky. No way did I pronounce that name right, but he's a big name in like the adult animation or just animation in general. I mean, the guy's done Samurai Jack, Dexter's Laboratory, Powerpuff Girls, Primal, of course. He's done some other stuff too. I'm just drawing a blank on. Actually, I have him up here. Shit, he did some Star Wars Clone War. Oh, that's right. He did the original Clone War series. Those are the best. If you have to pick a Star Wars animation series, I would still say Rebels, but then I would say Star Wars Clone Wars, but the Genndy season. Genndy season. Okay, I'm just gonna spell the name because I don't know how to pronounce this. His first name is Genndy. Good luck. And the last name is Tartakovsky. Tartakovsky. He's a Russian, but he's one of the good ones. Everything he touches, it tends to be money. He's like Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli or Studio Ghibli. I don't know, but what can I think of any Studio Ghibli movie? Spirited Away. There's one. Totoro, that motherfucker. So yeah, he's kind of like that. So Tartakovsky's done some amazing stuff. And Primal, there's only one season, and if you got HBO Max, I would check it out. It's good. It's a little violent. But it's cool. It reminds me of, I don't know if anybody watched this show back in the day, early to mid 90s. It was on after Beavis and Butthead on MTV. So I don't know if anybody watched the show called Aeon Flux. They made that shit ass movie with Charlize Theron like 10 years ago or 12 years ago. I don't fucking know how long ago, but it was a dog poop movie. And but the original series is pretty cool. And so Aeon Flux kind of combined anime with their own kind of hardcore style, almost like Heavy Metal, that animated movie, which was fucking awesome. That movie is one of the best movies to get high to. I gotta finish this latte. I'm no quitter. So I check out Primal, but prepare yourself. It's a pretty violent animated series, but it's beautiful. The score, the animation, the plot. There's no dialogue. Oh, I guess I should tell you what it's about. It's about a caveman at the dawn of evolution meets a dinosaur at the brink of extinction, and bonded by a common tragedy, they form a friendship, and they become each other's only hope and survival in the violent primordial world. That's awesome. If you like dinosaurs and cavemen and shit, give it a shot. Now, the next show, again, like The Mandalorian, everybody and their mother is watching this, The Queen's Gambit. I didn't want to watch this because anything that's too popular, I still have that stupid high school alternative indie thinking, oh, you like that band? Oh, you like that book? Oh, you like that TV show? Like anything that's too popular, I immediately I have to stick my nose up at it like, oh, not for me. So I waited a couple of weeks and I said, let me at least watch the first episode. And within like 10 minutes, I was hooked. And thankfully, there's only 7 episodes, and I believe I just finished the 4th one, the Mexico City episode. So I'm super pumped for the tail end. I'm not going to spoil anything, but that major event happens in episode 4. Again, no spoilers here, but I recommend that. But again, that thing has been trending in the top 3 on Netflix ever since it came out. I mean, it's all over the place, and I really like the actor that played the teacher when she was a kid, Bill Camp. I'm sure I've talked about him before. He was in that Dark Water show, or I apologize, Dark Waters is a movie, that Mark Ruffalo movie. And he was in something else that I was talking about. I don't know, he's everywhere. He's good. The main actress, what's her name? Anya something? Yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy. Yeah, she's been in a bunch of stuff too. What was that movie that I saw her in when she had a friend and they were in high school and they were like going to kill somebody? Oh God. Oh yeah, she was in the Split movies too, and The Witch. She was in Peaky Blinders? Oh, I haven't seen that series yet, or that season. What is that movie? I'm sorry guys, I'm not going to move on. Thoroughbreds, that's right. Is that the show? Hold on. That looks familiar. This is when she and her buddy were going to kill somebody. I don't know if this is the one. Let's move on. But yeah, Queen's Gambit is pretty dank. Next series, I don't know how popular it is. It was on a while ago. and I wanted to watch it when it came out, but I did not have HBO Max at the time, so I had to wait. That's Lovecraft County. This one I'm 50-50 on so far. I've only seen the one episode, but I could see what they're trying to do, and I'm on the fence. I'm going to give them a couple more episodes because I like the idea. It's not that the idea I don't like, it's the way they're doing it. So, but I never just quit after one show. And I tend to give HBO shows a longer leash because they tend to have good movies and documentaries and series, in my opinion. And so, but I tell you, the actress that's in Lovecraft County, the Smollett, not that Smollett, I think they're not related, I don't think either. I looked into this. You have two black actors, same last name, spelled the same, I believe. I guess let's check that out. I mean, that could be why. But yeah, they're not related. You would think all the Smolletts would be related, but maybe I'm just too white and maybe Smollett's a common black name. Fuck if I know. Anyhow, she's hot as a motherfucker. Not you. I'm talking about Journey Smollett. That's her name. Journey Smollett. I mean, she's a good actress too. I'm not just, but, she's good to look at. You know what I'm saying? And my God, LaFonda, you're like a terrorist here. You're worse than Al-Qaeda. Get out of here. Moving on. And so, get out of here. You're a terrorist. I'm going to talk to the UN about you. We're going to sanction you. And what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Another series that I started. It's a mini-series. Only one season, thankfully, based on the book. It's the Mark Ruffalo series. And I love Mark Ruffalo. I know this much is true. Everyone that watched it has recommended it to me. No one that I know watched the first episode and didn't like it. Everyone is hooked. It's a very depressing series, mind you. Very depressing. So if you don't like depressing shows, maybe skip this one. But if you like Mark Ruffalo, and if he's on your I'm not gay, but if I was gay list, like he is on mine, it's worth watching purely for his acting. He plays twins. One of them is schizophrenic, and the other one is not. And so it's the taking care of each other and how it's looking into his family because his mother has issues. There's just a bunch of stuff going on. I love it. But again, brace yourself. I know this much is true. It's very sad. Prepare yourself. Not a bingeable show. You could, but you probably end up killing yourself because it's very depressing. If you're gonna do a lot of sad stuff in a row, just listen to the Smiths and Morrissey or something, or The Cure. Some of that, 80s, early 90s kind of goth dark wave music. It's very good if you're in there's a reason why the goth look took over the 80s. Oh, for the love of God, LaFonda, fine. Taking over villages and pillaging. Just like ISIS. Okay, the last show I want to talk about is Perry Mason. Not that Perry Mason, the new Perry Mason that's also on HBO. This was like Lovecraft County. This was a show I wanted to watch a while ago, but I had to wait because I didn't have HBO Max access. Now, I'm a big fan of the actor that's playing the new Perry Mason, Matthew Rhys. He was in The Americans with not Kerry Washington, starts with a K. It doesn't matter. But that's going to bug me, so I'll look as I talk. Now, I'm watching the show with my old man, because he obviously watched the original Perry Mason from the 50s, and when he found out there was a new one, he wanted to watch it with me, and I was like, all right, that's fine. I tend to watch one series with him every now and then. So, but yeah, so far so good. I love a good film noir, and this is exactly what this is. And I tell you, the first couple minutes, it really gut punches you. If you can make it through the first couple minutes, you're a survivor. Kerry Russell, that's her name. See, I was close. I knew it started with a K. Kerry Russell. What was her? She had a big show when she was younger. Felicity? Is that the show? Why don't I see it? What? You would think IMDb would put that thing first. She was obviously known for that. Yeah, Felicity. Why do I even doubt myself? There's only 84 episodes of Felicity? I thought there's like 200 something. Maybe that show isn't as popular as I thought. Anyhow, what was I talking about? Yeah, Perry Mason. Matthew Rhys is amazing as Perry Mason. And if you like a good whodunit film noir, think LA Confidential, Chinatown, those kind of things, then I would check it out. But LaFonda's killing me here, so I'm going to have to sanction her again. No more treats until you get your shit together. And so I'll come back and we'll kickstart Becker's 2.0. So I think where we left off was after the monster from Philly basically shook me to my core. Who knows? Maybe I'm a pussy. I don't know. Anyway, I kind of took some time off from dating apps, from trying to find somebody. I said, fuck it. Let me get some time to work on myself. Instead of a treat yourself day, let me have a treat yourself month. And around the same time as that, I was doing a lot of introspection about why I was still single, why so many of my friends had been married and have gotten engaged and have just gotten families together in the short amount of time that I've known some of them. Some I've known a long time, but still within 10 years, it's crazy how many people had gotten married. And now that it was coming up on 15 years since I graduated from high school, I believe, I started saying, holy shit, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy in the minority who is this, 40, 50, 60-year-old bachelor who's still trying to pick up women half his age or God only know worse. So started freaking out a little bit about that, but I tried staying calm, cool, and collected. I tried working on myself in ways that I work best for me. I started writing things down, started asking myself the hard questions and trying not to, be easy on myself. I tried to really find out what the hell's going on and what had been going on and what I want. Am I the kind of person that I think I am? When I envision myself, how accurate is that interpretation I give myself? So I don't know. To this day, I still think of some of these things, but then I was, and I'm still focused on the being single part because, spoiler alert, still single. But, yeah. And around the same time, Rebecca and I had spoken here and there, but obviously we weren't speaking as much for obvious reasons because the breakup was hard on us both. And through friends of friends and every now and then I would talk to her, I kind of had a general idea of what she was doing. I knew she was working in a church in Prague. And before that, I believe she was in Germany. But don't quote me on that last one. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but it could be the Mary Jane. But anyway, out of the blue, she messaged me asking some things about our relationship. She was just gotten out of a relationship, quite a serious one, I believe. And she was dealing with the aftermath of that. And she just wanted clarifications about herself from my opinion. Hey, when we were together, did I do XYZ? Did I come off as XYZ? And so we started talking about that. And I told her the God honest truth, which was, hey, I'm just recently single myself. I got out of a very crazy, short, but, PTSD-inducing relationship. So we started commiserating about that. But I told her the God honest truth, which was, our relationship was the high watermark for me. Best one I've ever had, obviously. And we started talking about it and started talking about what broke us up and what we've learned over the last couple of years. Because I believe we were, at that time, 4 years post breakup. I'm not sure. But anyway, so we started talking about the good old times and talking about our recent history in the dating life. We both kind of compared our relationships. And anyway, we just kind of caught up. And we started casually flirting here and there, started talking about the fun things, hint, hint, that we did back then. And, we started just talking about, well, if we have such fond memories of the relationship and we're very different people, so to speak, in most of the troublesome areas, some other areas were still the same. But overall, we've been a much more mature people than we were 4 or 5 years ago. So, and she was questioning whether or not she wanted to stay at her employment in Prague. And so inevitably, she decided to move back to California with her parents. And I stopped talking to other girls and she stopped talking to other guys. And we said, fuck it, let's see. Let's try it again. Let's try round 2 because everything that I was telling her was completely honest. And what's the term I'm trying to think of? It just came so easy, I guess what I'm trying to say. It just felt comfortable. It felt like all the pieces to the puzzle fit, But, and we later talked about it. We kind of put our rosy shades on at this time and we looked at the fun times in the past, and we both were admittedly sick and tired of being lonely. And this was just a couple months before COVID, so we kind of just wanted to see. We wanted to see if anything was there, and there absolutely was love left over, absolutely. So after a short stay at her parents in California, she moved back up here to live with some of her friends. We met up for a dinner. We both had a good time. But again, it just kind of felt right. It didn't really feel like there had been that 4 or 5 year difference. But again, I think we were just so eager to see a comfortable, friendly, lovable face. She felt the same way I did. She said that I was the best relationship she had, and I still maintain that she was the best I've had. So it really didn't take much negotiating, or it really didn't take much questioning. We kind of just went back to being in a relationship again. Smooth sailing. It was great. A lot of joking, a lot of humor, a lot of good conversation. I think we work well together, and I think we help each other where we're lacking. I can tell you, she got my ass up to work out a little bit harder. She got my ass up going to stay motivated about certain things around the house. And she got me to rethink how I buy groceries and shit. She opened my eyes a lot of ways, and not to mention, she did a lot for me when I was first getting the house here. Helping me find furniture, helping me decorate, helping me. She painted the whole downstairs bathroom, and she really put in work here. And then once COVID came, we were basically together 3 or 4 days a week, and things were moving pretty fast. And things were going good. Every now and then the same issues came up, but again, we were a little bit more mature. We were able to talk about some of our religious differences, our spiritual differences, our parenting differences, how we just have a general outlook for future goals and aspirations and dreams. But overall, we never got as emotional as we did when we were younger. We were able to talk things out. Well, eventually those differences kind of kept bubbling to the top because we figured that we were, a perfect fit for one another in a lot of areas, but a lot of the foundational core, brick and mortar type issues, regarding religion and spirituality, issues of parenting, issues of health. There are a lot of things. I would be the first to say that a lot of those things over time we could have worked on and gotten to a common agreement. I truly do. But there were some major ones, and I didn't want to pretend that they weren't affecting our relationship. I didn't want to pretend they weren't affecting me and how I viewed her and her opinions sometimes. And I didn't like how I was sometimes blowing off her opinions or her thoughts on things or her ideologies on things purely because of a religious difference or just an opinion difference. And that wasn't good. So I truly tried working on myself in those areas, and I did see some positive growth there, but I still had the issues deep down when it came to our religious views. So I don't ever like saying that we ended things based on our religious differences, but that really was a large reason why. It's kind of like summing up the Civil War and saying we went to war because of slavery. Yes, we did. They will say it's because of states' rights and a bunch of other shits, but slavery was part of all that, obviously. But, well, that's a bad example because that I just disproved my own point. Christ. But yeah, it's, I can't really talk, poorly of her because there's no reason to. She was a great influence on my life. But again, there was just too many differences where even meeting halfway would really be a loss on either one side, if that makes sense. I don't like to speak in battle terms, but we still are friends. We're still really good friends. And again, we still make fond memories. We still, hang out every now and then. We're both aware that in time, if we ever do get into a serious relationship with somebody else, our friendship is going to have to be altered. We both are aware of that. But I always view her as a damn good friend, one of my best, actually. And it's frustrating, but at this time of my life, I do kind of hold every relationship up to the two that we had. Yeah, don't really have anything crazy, major, gossipy, or anything like that. It wasn't a good breakup, much like the first time around. This breakup was even weirder, I should say, because we didn't really mean to break up, but we did. Again, one of our points of conflict has always been our parents. I'm not going to go too much into it. A lot of that stuff is personal, but there came a point in the middle of the spike in quarantine a few months ago, I would say 5 months ago or so. Everybody was supposed to be staying, calm, cool, and collected at home, following the measures and limiting outside travel and gatherings. And she was relenting and seeing her parents in California, even though she was just over there a couple months ago. They made her, in my opinion, kind of guilted her into seeing them. And I was furious that she was agreeing to it, because at the time, finances were tight, and not to mention the health risks, not to mention in my opinion, the selfishness on her parents' part to even ask the question. And there's just so many things wrong with it. God only knows what she might have brought back from the airport, the actual plane, California. And there was just too many question marks for me to feel comfortable. I didn't feel like I was feeling hypochondriac-ish. I don't know if there's a way to say hypochondriac without saying hypochondriac. I feel like I wasn't feeling too overboard in terms of the health risks. So I offered the stupid opinion at the time in the middle of the night. What we could do is do a quarantine from each other for 2 weeks once you get back, which would be a 3-week break from each other. Now, prior to this conversation, we had always had a very open dialogue about the possible ending of our relationship. Or in my opinion, which I thought, based on what we were talking about, what we've joked about, what we've said to each other, that ultimately, because of said differences that I've already gone into, the relationship was going to end sometime down the road. We joked about it, we talked about it, we acknowledged it. But neither of us wanted it to happen, if that makes any sense. But we just kind of knew it was a reality. When I brought up that possible idea of a quarantine, I said something to the effect of, this will kind of be a good test for when we break up, or when we don't have the relationship anymore. Stupid thing to say, because it kind of came out of nowhere. And that kind of started the snowball that turned into an avalanche, and that was the end of the relationship. And some things were said that were surprise to both parties. Some things were believed to be happening, even though said things were never said. So that was very hard. Still getting over it, to be honest. It's still hard. But again, I think we are meant to be in some capacity in each other's life. But yeah, there's just some major, besides the major religious and spiritual whatever differences, but the families, the friends, the opinion that a lot of her friends and most of her family have of me is very disparaging. The outlook on me has usually been negative, and I've not met most of these people. I learned a lot with Rebecca and from Rebecca, a lot of positives. And so that breakup happened a few months ago. I think it's coming up on 4 months, maybe. I don't even know. This year, everything seems like a blur. Time has no meaning. So, well, I don't know if I want to do it now, but I think a good bookend to this life in the romance of Angelo Casanova Grosso is to talk about what's happened since then. Because, for better or worse, I'm single, trying to mingle in COVID responsibly. Everybody's horny. Everybody's scared. A lot of scams. A lot of shady people out there. And I think people are starting to lose their minds a little bit. But I don't want... I'll wait on the next podcast to kind of bookend it. So, but yeah, Rebecca 2.0, fantastic, but unfortunately didn't work out. fortunately in the fact that we acknowledge the importance we have with each other in our lives. And so yeah, let's move on to wrapping this mofo up. So in closing, I think I will say I've very much enjoyed kind of recounting my early years of life through romance with women. And yeah, I kind of liked it in the sense of I want to continue with the Angelo's history of things. I think maybe the next topic will be me in history of violence, violence with others, violence done upon me, fist fights, things like that, drunken brawls at bars, all that stuff, which, spoiler alert, not a lot, but I think it's still fun and a funny, hilarious topic. I hope some people got something out of this. Misery loves company. If you're single in your 30s, or if you're just single at all, you're not alone out there. Sometimes it's lonely and depressing, and you feel like you're going to be alone your whole life. Depressed sometimes, alone, lonely. Sometimes I feel that the first thing that comes my way, I'll just jump on it, because whether it be low self-esteem or trust issues, or you're just afraid of the unknown, you're afraid of the possibility that you're going to die alone and no one's ever going to love you, and you're going to just not reproduce, and you're just going to be that person you see that's in their 50s or 60s shuffling along by themselves, and everyone feels bad for them because they don't have anyone to take care of them or take care of. So yeah, I understand all that. But what are you going to do? You're just going to stop trying? You're just going to give up? I mean, come on. Who just gives up on something like that? No. Try to do a little bit of inner self reflection. Do meditation if that's your thing. I've tried meditation, but I can't do it. I just don't have the patience for it. So anyway, you just can't give up. You can't say 1 or 2 or 5 or 20 bad relationships or instances with people ruin the bunch, So no, you got to keep trying. Got to stay out there. And then down the road, if you're still haven't figured out yet, like you're getting to that reactionary point in your life where it's a powder keg, so you got to do something. Just do what our former president did and just buy a wife or buy a husband. Unfortunately, there's plenty of them available. Well, I don't know if that's unfortunately. It just depends. I think in America, it's seen as unfortunate that you can buy a spouse, buy a wife, buy a husband. But hey, that's how the world turns, baby. Oh, yeah, that's amazing. Our president bought his wife. Our first lady was bought and shipped over in a crate. With a big fragile sticker. That's fragile for you non-Italian speakers. That's what you call a Christmas Story reference. I think on that happy note, this may be a quicker podcast than the last couple of ones, which is fine. I think we can all agree on that. Anyhow, I love y'all. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. My personal Thanksgiving was a horror show, only because there was some miscommunication. Obviously, I did not see large groups of family. I did see my father, because he lives 10, 12 minutes away from me. Usually, I either go to a friend's house, or a Friendsgiving, if you will, or I get together with my mom's side of the family, which is a larger group of people. But even my small group family on my father's side, we usually have 3 or 4 people. This year, obviously, it was just me and the old man. I thought we were going to at least do something for lunch together on Thanksgiving. That was the interpretation I got of our conversation. So I woke up on Thanksgiving, and I thought, well, I bet because of COVID-19, a lot of businesses that normally would be closed on Thanksgiving will be open. So I didn't eat breakfast, have coffee. I didn't do shit. I woke up and I drove to Renton. I went to 3 coffee shops. They were all closed. So I was wrong on that. I thought for sure they would at least be open for half days, maybe close up a 1 or 2. That way they could go home and spend time with their kids and family, but I guess I was wrong. So my Thanksgiving breakfast was Starbucks, because they're open. That place was fucking slammed. And it was one of the better Starbucks visits I've been to. I mean, I'm no fan of Starbucks. I think they burn and mix their coffee. It's bullshit. It's quite terrible majority of the time. If you enjoy Starbucks, if you think Starbucks is the best coffee, then you have no class or culture. But that one time was okay. So then we were talking to my dad about lunch. He's like, oh, I don't got anything for lunch. Well, nothing at all. I was like, well, it's Thanksgiving. We always do something for lunch. We talked about it. Oh, well, I guess I could make a grilled cheese. I'm like, come on, man, it's Thanksgiving. Let's at least order out or something. So we looked, and it was just way too expensive. I mean, I think he and I were going to order like a $20 pizza, but after all the fees and delivery fees and the tips and the taxes, it was damn near $60 for a pizza. So we said, fuck that noise. So he drove me and him down to fucking Jack in the Box. So it was so disgusting. So my Thanksgiving consisted of Starbucks for breakfast, Jack in the Box for lunch. I mean, what a sad fucking state of capitalistic affairs. I mean, that's just gross. And the food was bad. And the best part is, both my parents are old as fuck boomers. Generally, they're nice people. However, they're product of their generation. So my father's driving a Jack in the Box, and I'm sitting in the passenger seat, hitting my pen because I'm like, oh, I have to get high for this one. And he's just complaining about, look at all these people driving on Thanksgiving. And I said, hey, motherfucker, we're driving on Thanksgiving. Oh, yeah, we're driving with a purpose. I'm trying to get something to eat. I'm like, oh, so everyone else is driving and just driving because they're assholes. It was that kind of conversation in the car. But anyway, I kind of rambled there for a little bit. The point is, I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Hopefully the COVID vaccine will come up soon. I don't think it's going to be here before Christmas. It'd be nice, but I don't think so. So Christmas 2020 is probably going to be like the other holidays, small or nothing at all. Unless you're a fucking asshole, and then you have a big group together with a bunch of old people and kids, and COVID be damned, and you all get sick and pass it along, and people die. But hey, you're an American, so who cares about watching out for others, especially if you're Christian, am I right? On that happy note, I love y'all. Go Hawks. They're playing tonight against the pitiful Eagles. Fuck Philadelphia. Not only because of the girl, but because of the team, but they are intertwined, so fuck all Philadelphia. Fucking Liberty Bell, Benjamin Franklin, bitch. And, why the fuck do you have a statue in Philadelphia of a made-up character like Rocky? One infamous scene in a movie, you have to build a fucking statue. Why don't you put a statue up there of an actual athlete that did something? God forbid you make the athlete a person of color, you racist fucks. I'm fucking with you, Philly. But you are terrible people in a terrible city. Anyhow, I think I've been trying to end this thing for 10 minutes. So on that happy note, go Hawks. I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all later.